All right. Welcome, everyone. It's Thursday morning, my favorite day of the week because I get to hang out with all of you guys. And we always get to learn something fun and then do our networking. This week is no different. This week, we actually have a special guest that I've come to know and love over these last few months because she is like she's super intense at what she does, which makes her amazing at it, right? Um, Lisa Ragland is here with us today, and she is a systems and admin like superstar, rock star. And she's actually going to share with us today why your digital footprint is so important. Lisa, you are unmuted,
Yes,
I see.
I'm here.
Welcome and thank you for being here. I'm going to spotlight you so we all can see you. So please, honey, I'm going to turn my mic off so that the dogs don't interrupt you. But it's all yours. Take it away.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for having me. Yes, I am definitely a wizard when it comes to operations. I, about a year ago, founded a company called Back Office Boost. And initially, our focus was on any entrepreneur, not specifically real estate. And then we realized that there was a very big need in the real estate community for this type of service. Even if you're brand new or you've been around for 20 years, things are always changing, and you want to be the expert in whatever your real estate focus areas are, and you want people in your community to recognize you and your brand. So when they think of real estate, they think of you first. And a lot of times, agents are really good at the networking part. They are open to hosting open houses or making phone calls or, reaching out to, friends and family for referrals. However, if they don't have the right scripts or the right tools to share with them, they fumble that up sometimes. They might go to the listing appointment and not be prepared with a listing presentation that's polished and shines. And if you knew that you were the best agent for the job of selling their home, but you didn't come prepared for the appointment, you could lose that opportunity to someone who might not take amazing care of that client and help them with their needs. So I didn't want agents leaving the industry who just needed the support to be more efficient and more profitable in their career. So we built this, and I'm going to go over a footprint today. So we have blueprints when we're building houses. Well, you need to have footprints across the digital world in order for people to find you. And we're going to go over, I'm going to pull my slides up here. Okay, perfect. So we're going to, as you can see with the digital footprint, everything's all interconnected online. And I preface this presentation by saying that there are so many different types of agents, not just how long you've been in the business or what you specialize in or what area you live in, but some of us have different personalities. And we are more extroverted than we are introverted. And we like working with clients or we like working with operations. Well, I've been in the industry for over 20 years and I prefer the operations side. So my style is going to be very admin and marketing service based, more so than it is on sales, because that's just my strength. But if you have any questions as we go through the presentation, I will have some spots where we'll stop. And then at the end of the presentation, you will be able to download a weekly, like a 7-day action plan along with a brand audit checklist. And it's what we use at our company when we're evaluating our agents. So let's get started. So, one, what is a digital footprint? How do you complete a brand audit? How to create your brand for instant recognition? And then how to recognize other trusted brands and then model them. Understand the differences between owned, rented, and earned platforms. Polish your profiles on Google, LinkedIn, and your website. And then the quick wins, 7-day checklist, and the consistent actions that you can take. Because whenever I train, I want to make sure that you leave with something that you can implement today. And I want to have some follow up actions that you can take. So instead of just sitting here and listening to me for the next 20 minutes, you are going to leave with a tool that is going to work. And you're actually going to feel like that 20 minutes was an investment in your future. So let's keep moving forward. So, top brands, right? Who are these companies? Let me hear you. Unmute yourselves.
Nike, Coke, Apple.
All right. How did we know that this was Nike?
It's a branding.
Yeah,
A
brand
swoosh.
recognition.
Right? And it's somebody said the word I was looking for. What is this called?
Swoosh.
Logo.
Because of their logo.
Swoosh.
A
A
logo.
swoosh. Yeah, swoosh. Yes. So we know that Nike is a recognizable brand because they have this swoosh emblem. And where do they put this swoosh emblem?
On all their products.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Their shoes, their shirts, their websites, their everything. So this is, in addition to brand identity, it's product marketing. And we are real estate agents. And what are our products? What do we
Real
sell?
estate,
Homes.
land,
Homes. So
home, house.
how do we transcend a swoosh to recognize a shoe to an icon and, a mark, trademark, logo for you so that people know that you sell houses, right? And the second one, the Coke logo. Well, we know that that is a Coke can. If that can was blue and it had another word on it that started with a P, what would that be?
Pepsi.
Right? Which is a competitor of Coke. So when you guys are out building your brands, there's always going to be other real estate agents. There's always going to be other brokerages. So you're going to be competing in a space just like Nike competes with Under Armour, just like Coke competes with Pepsi. And then finally, what is this last logo?
Apple.
Apple. And what does Apple sell?
Technology.
All electronic technology.
Right. And we know that this is not just any old apple, right? It is a
Yes.
unique apple. What makes that apple unique?
The
The
bite.
way it's shaped. It
It's
has a little,
branding.
it is. It has a little cutout. Apple could
Correct.
have just put a red apple on their products, but that wouldn't have made it unique. So we're going to go beyond just, having your name as a logo or using your brokerage name as a logo by establishing a brand with an icon, some sort of symbol that recognize what you sell, where you sell it, and why you sell it. Because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And as soon as you build that brand in your local community, people will follow you. If you expand that to billboards and park benches, or if you just go simple with business cards and have them at coffee shops, eventually people are going to start seeing that brand. They're not even going to notice the content that you're sharing. They are going to know that you are an expert in that community, selling what it is that you sell, which is homes. So let's discuss the difference between owned platforms and then, of course, rented. Owned platform examples are websites, blogs, your email list, your domain, your brand kit. Think of things that if you wanted to sell your business 10 years from now to some 20-year-old whippersnapper who is ready to take over while you retire, these are all things that you could sell. If you own a house, you can sell a house. If you rent a house, you're paying somebody else rent and you have to follow their rules. So I want to teach you how to build not just your brand, but include that brand in your owned platforms because you control it fully. You are safe from any algorithm changes or any brokerage changes. It follows you. And your best use for an owned platform is to build authority, to host your lead funnels, and establish your market identity. Now, the alternative, actually, I'll show you a few examples. So we have a few different agents that work with us at Back Office Boost, and they hired us because they didn't either have the time or the skill set and the expertise to do all of this for themselves. And so, one example of a brand audit, I'll start with this guy. If you were to Google your name and your state or your city, in this case, I Googled Matt Paxson, Florida. And I challenge you to Google your name and state or city and see what comes up on the first page of Google. Because the number one thing that came up for Matt is LinkedIn. And we're going to talk about why that is so important in a service industry community like us. But in addition to that, he has a website. He has his Instagram, his Realtor.com profile, his Facebook, his Zillow, and LinkedIn again. You also will see images. Notice that there are two pretty consistent photos. He's kind of transitioned over to using one most of the time, and I do recommend that. Have the photo the same across all of that online media. The other thing you see is a logo. This is a logo that we designed. And when we consulted with him, we knew he was a waterfront real estate specialist, obviously in Florida, and had certain colors that he was really drawn to. So we created that. And so all of this branding that pops up, we would go through and we would click on each and every one of these things and we would evaluate, what does your header look like? What is your primary focus? Notice he has that it's Florida waterfront real estate. He has a certification. He has these different categories: luxury sellers and second homes. He's not just a general real estate agent. He does general real estate, but he wants people to know what his focus area is because that's what he dominates in his local market. The other thing that he did is he took the value proposition that we wrote, which was short, sweet, to the point, very fact-based, and he copied and pasted that on all of his brand sites. LinkedIn, Google profile. You could Google this guy and you would see that everything across the board is very consistent. And that's what we're looking for when we're doing those brand audits. The other thing that we're doing is we're building your website, your content marketing, business cards, all of the above. And so this is an example of a branded activity guide. Once you create colors, styles, and you research your local market to identify what are consumers who are looking to relocate to your area going to be interested in. All right, so they want to know where to shop. They want to know, let's see, can't get my little clicker. There we go. They want to know where to eat, where to drink, and be merry. They want to know, where do we go for fun annual events with our family, or if we had friends visiting, what would be a good time of the year for them to come? What recreational opportunities are available? And then you finish with brand. Same picture, same logo, contact information. And every single thing that you build for your brand should have that same exact information. So if you start using one email address, use that email address on everything. If you want to use a domain name like Southern Charm Realty Group, branded, use that consistently. Let's go back over to one more thing. So Matt is a newer agent, and he just came to us a few weeks ago for us to create this new brand identity for him. And I want to compare that to one that has been around for a really long time. And I chose Mark Spain because I used to work for Mark. I was actually a general manager in the Atlanta market for him. And if you guys are in the East Coast, you know who Mark Spain is, I'm assuming, right? Anybody know who that is?
Of
Somebody
course.
was from
Of
Atlanta.
course.
Yeah.
Because he
Oh,
always
Like,
has the billboards everywhere.
right. But regardless of whether he had billboards and was on the radio, he would be found. Same audit. I didn't even have to type the city or the state for him. All I had to do was type his name plus real estate. And when this populated, we got his Google page. This Google page has 554 reviews on it. And we're going to advance forward and we're going to talk about how important Google is. This is where all of your reviews should be going. So if you've been getting them on Zillow, stop. Go to Google. Once you start building your Google profile, Google is the #1 searched real estate, web, like search engine, obviously, on the planet, but it is the #1 place that people go for real estate. Zillow is popular for consumer real estate websites, but they have their own space. So I want you to get comfortable with that. And notice on the Google profile that they include a lot of photos, videos, testimonials, marketing. He's a guaranteed cash offer guy. So that's what he pushes out there, and that's what people know him for. So when you post the right photos and you get the right reviews and you include video in your marketing, your Google profile stands out. So if I was doing a brand audit and you didn't have a Google profile, I would be listing that as something we need to create for you or with you, depending on how you want that set up. So that's an example of owned platforms, right? Doesn't matter what brokerage you're with, you can take those things with you and you can create calls to action so that people can find you and connect with you. Now, rented platforms, on the other hand, are going to be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. You are borrowing them. You are subjected to their algorithms and their rules, just like if you rent a home. If you can't have pets in that home, it's not a pet. If it's not pet friendly, it's not a home that you're going to move to. So if you start posting things on Facebook or Instagram, because we are in a very protected housing class, then you can get blocked, banned, suspended. I mean, you could put, lots of time and money in creating these profiles and integrating these profiles into your marketing. And then if you got shut down, your brand shuts down. So you have to figure out ways to integrate how you can own and rent platforms synergistically. And it's the same thing, same concept as being an investor in real estate. You are going to own real estate that you also rent to others. So the next category is going to be earned platforms. Like an investor, you can earn credibility, like you can earn money. So the examples here are reviews, press mentions, podcast, referrals. This is the most trusted way to earn business in any industry, but particularly real estate, because you are being validated publicly. What we are doing today is an example. Debbie invited me to virtual coffee. We do have a personal relationship and we value and respect what we each do in our industries. So she trusts what I am sharing with you guys today. And so I have an opportunity now to share my passion and my skill set when it comes to branding with you because of her allowing me to do so. The same is true for you as a real estate agent. If you're getting reviews on Google, or if you are linking in your blogs back to other professionals and they're doing the same for you, those are mentions. They could be mentions from the news, it could be mentions from other influencers, other agents that are in different markets that you might share referrals with. But if you will connect with people that already have an established brand presence and a lot of followers, that will instantly give you credibility. So if you're a brand new agent and you're worried about people, finding you or wanting to work with you because you have no sales yet, they go to Zillow and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's never sold a house before. Why would I hire them?" You have to fix that mindset by being everywhere else they would find you and allow that, the mindset that you are going to be the expert, not that you are going to become the expert. You have to be the expert. So all of the branding has to position you in order for you to have that social proof and reputation building. I put a link, I put a note here, and I used Debbie's as an example because hers is super full. Once you create your profiles and then you build content on the rented platforms, and then you earn referrals, recommendations, testimonials, and reviews, you are going to then combine it all together so that people can find you in one place instead of just having to Google you. You could have something called Linktree. I highly recommend that every agent have a link tree. And once you finish your 7-day action plan with that we're going to suggest today, or if you hired us to do the 7-day plan, we would suggest that you include all of your socials, any of your websites, any of your lead generation forms, guides, whatever you're sharing with your network and the consumers that you want to grow in business with, the business owners that you want to receive referrals from. This is the best way to do it because it's all in one place, and you can generate a QR code that people can scan. And this is an online business card that has way more than just your contact info. It has every single way they can view your profiles and connect with you, or get a home value report. Whatever your intention is in your local market, you can create links and content to build around that. So I'll head back here, and we're going to go through very quickly some things that I think are absolute necessities to stand out and to build that digital footprint. So obviously, Google Business Profile, number one. When you go to claim your profile, be sure that you claim a service business that goes to other people's addresses, because you don't want your home address on your Google Business Profile. That's just not safe, and nor is it professional. You want to add categories, hours, services, look like a professional business. Look as professional as an HVAC company. Make them realize that you're not just some fly-by-night real estate agent. You're actually building a business that serves their needs in your community. And then post weekly updates. You're going to start with 10 plus photos. Homes in your area. If you have an office, you want to have a photo of that. If you are posting videos, if you're comfortable with that, make sure that those are also included. The second is your website. You're going to follow a promise, proof, path layout. So if you're taking notes, write that down. Promise, proof, path. Promise, who you help and how you help them. Proof, testimonials, reviews, and logos. If your personal brand or your brokerage brand has earned any awards, those need to be there. Pictures of your awards, or something from your association's website. If they have some like top sales leader award, whatever that is, those are what logos are in real estate. And path, clear call to action. So if you promise, you prove, and you give them a path to connect with you on your website, it'll actually work for you. It's not just there to be pretty, it's there to lead generate. LinkedIn, update your banner with your value proposition. Write a keyword rich headline. That is why Matt is ranked number one, or the site that is ranked number one when you put his name in Google is LinkedIn, because of his headlines. You're going to use a featured section for a free guide or a case study. Make it work for you. A lot of people think they need profiles because they need to be found. You need profiles so that you can be proven to be the trusted expert. And for people to connect with you, you have to offer them some sort of value for them to want to connect with you. Because what makes you different than every other, thousandth realtor in your local market if you're not providing something unique. Instagram and Facebook, there's a section where you can do intro post that you can pin. You need to pin who you help, what you do, and how to start working with you. How to get your home value, or how to schedule a buyer consultation. Whatever it is that you want to, connect with them on to start with, that should be one of your intro posts. And you should always use stories and reels for behind the scenes. We have an agent that just started working with us on our team, and she has an amazing Instagram following, and she does reels related to um, either property tours or like just the weird stuff that happens in real estate. Like she's got a squatter in one of her rental houses right now, but they're fun, they're informative, they're interesting, and people follow her for that. The stories and the reels get more engagement than the long videos, because people are in this world today move quickly. They have a lot of priorities and a lot of obligations with family, with friends, with work. It takes too long for them to sit down and watch a video. So your engagement is lower on a longer one than it is on a shorter one. And then you engage with these people on Instagram and Facebook through your comments and your polls. YouTube's, again, start here video. Answer some FAQs in short, searchable clips, and organize playlists by client needs. So if you're focused on new construction and divorce and expired listings, you should have playlists for each of those three categories. If there are three specific neighborhoods that you do a lot of farming in, you sell a lot of new construction there, create playlists for each of those new home communities or those cities or neighborhoods. Review hubs. You should be asking for at least 2 reviews every month. It does not have to be people that you closed property with, because when you're new in the business, you probably don't have any past clients, right? But you do have people who would trust you to help them. And you also have people that you might have shown property with, but not gone under contract with. Or maybe they met you for a home value consultation, but they haven't committed yet. Or maybe they just wanted to you have your advice on home staging, and they could write a review about your expertise in some service that you offer. So again, don't think that you have to ask people who you worked with in the past to actually close on a sale to review you. You can have reviews on Google for anything. And then if you're using Google, which we highly recommend for those reviews, you can get a direct review link for your Google page and share that with those clients or those friends and those trusted partners. And that link could be shared via text or social media, but if you share it, make sure you include a personal note. So it's not just you send it out to 500 people, hey, I'm looking for a review on Google. Ask them why you need a review, what you'd like them to say, how they can help you get that trusted, advisor profile online. And every time you get a review, either positive or negative, which we hope never happens, but when you get those, you should reply back. A lot of people skip the reply option. You have an option on every single one to thank someone, to elaborate if it was a very short review. You want to touch on one specific thing that you could have done or that you did do for that consumer that helped them sell in 5 days, or narrowed 15 homes down to 5 based on a needs analysis, or got them under contract in a multiple offer situation with 5 other buyers. Like whatever it is that you specifically did that stands out, that's what you want to highlight. So if the client doesn't highlight it, make sure that you say, I'm so happy we were able to get this contract approved against those multiple offers. We wish you all the best in your new home. That kind of stuff. Directories. If you are not a member of the Chamber of Commerce or local associations, you need to find some to join. And you want to pitch being a guest on someone's blog or someone's podcast or someone's webinar. Because if you can show up where you can help others with what specifically it is that you do really well in your market or in real estate, you want to be able to get that out there because that content makes you credible. And then finally, you want to get backlinks for authority. So I mentioned when you do blogging, if you just write about your community and you don't talk about your favorite coffee shop or, your family's, favorite pizza, you do not have the opportunity to stand out as a local neighborhood expert. So why not link to those establishments and then ask them, because I have displayed you as a preferred vendor or as my favorite coffee shop, I'd like to be featured on your site as well. That way we can help each other send business back and forth. And if you build on meet relationships with these people, maybe meeting at that specific coffee shop every single time you are meeting a potential buyer for the first time, they're going to see you. You're going to become really relevant and you can build on that relationship and become the go-to agent for that coffee shop. Your content pillars. So whenever you're posting, always think about what are their problems? How can I prove that I know what I'm talking about and that I can actually help you with that problem? And how do you shine with your personality behind the scenes? So, if you, for example, are talking about 5 hidden costs of buying a home, you could have a client testimonial that talks about how you saved them so much by recommending a home inspection. And then you would have clips that you would post from the home inspection, the unique things that that inspector found that could have cost that client a lot of money. Repurpose. When you have a video, because remember I said you don't get as much engagement on the long videos. You can cut that into 3 short videos and then build a blog around that. Pull quotes in from that video and share those bite-sized tips and stories. So a 5-minute video could give you an entire week's worth of content by repurposing that one video into loops. So now we're at the end of our presentation. I want to get into that quick fix workshop. All right, so this is the hands-on section. So the first thing this is today. So today, after you have your coffee, before you go on appointments, I want you to do that brand audit and I want you to see where you need to be. And the first thing you can do, because it's so easy, is to update that LinkedIn headline. And if you want to go ahead and update that LinkedIn headline while you're on the session, feel free to do so. You add a clear call to action to your website homepage. So if there's nothing on your website that people can click to schedule a call with you or an in-person appointment or to get their home value, that is problem number 1 and you need to fix that. Because having the website with no way for people to reach out to you for your help is just a pretty website and they're going to pass right down the line to the next agent that does have a call to action. You also are going to create your Google profile. And if you already have a Google profile, draft a post today. Send a review link to one client or one person who could be a client, one person that has been a customer, somebody that you have helped. And then write down one directory that you want to add. So a place that you can backlink, a place that will support you, a place that will list that you are an agent in your local market. One of those is experience.com. That's the easiest one I can tell you about right now. So if you don't know anywhere else to go, go to experience.com and add the different focus areas that you commit to. I'll give you an example. So my husband is Chad Ragland, and if we type in Chad Ragland real estate, on the first page of a Google search for him on experience.com, you will see that he is a residential and investment realtor. And when you click on this experience.com site, you will see that he has, let's see, not there. The other day I was looking at it. There's only 6 people in our local market who specialize in investment real estate per experience.com. So if somebody Googled investment real estate or whatever, and they were really looking for someone who specialized in investments, they would find him from experience.com. So they get a lot of traction. In order to download your 7-day action plan, there is a form that you can complete on our website, and I'm going to drop this in the chat. So let's get over here. All right, perfect. So the form's in the chat. I'm going to fill it out live to demonstrate how you're going to receive it and what it's going to look like. Your message is optional, but let's say that you had a comment, a question, a suggestion for us. Feel free to put that in the message box. Otherwise, just enter your contact info. And as soon as you enter that, and I'll view this in full screen. Oh, here we go. This is what you'll get. And I use the online form because if you start putting all your emails in the chat, then somebody's got to go manually do it. And we're a very automated company. So I want to make sure you get it quick. So you put it in, displays online. You can click this little email icon in the bottom right-hand corner, and it will email this to you as well so that you can print the PDF. So the first step when we do this brand audit is we look at website, we look at blog, we look at email marketing, consumer profiles, social media, and competitor benchmark. You can put notes for each section, and then this blank sheet over on the right is another note-taking section. So I do encourage you to print this. It's 4 pages, and then you can take those notes so that you can build a plan around how you're going to change that branding online. This last page is a 7-day real estate action plan. So you're going to have your audit kickoff, define your goals, think about your niche. What are you missing, with your brand? Content inventory. Do I have a website with a call to action? Am I blogging 1 time a week? Do I have email call to action and guides that I can share with people? Are my profiles all updated? And these are the top 4: Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, and Nextdoor. Every real estate agent should have an updated profile on those 4 sites at a minimum. Your competitor check, Google and Zillow search. Who's selling real estate where I am? What do their profiles look like? How do I make mine look like theirs if they've closed 100 transactions? Quick wins, your call to actions, your opt-in lead magnets. How are people finding out what my strengths are and how I can help them solve problems? Optimization. Let's analyze what we're doing. Are we getting any conversions and all that stuff that we built? Do we have a blog that people would find on the internet and actually read? And what kind of video content do we have out there? And then finally, how do we relaunch? So what do we do in the next 30 days to ensure that our brand stands out amongst all of our competition? What makes us unique and identifiable? And then the last slide is be visible, be credible, and be consistent. If you do those 3 things, I don't care how long you've been in the business or how good you are at the back operations. If you just take one, how do you eat an elephant behind Debbie right now? One bite at a time. So you can accomplish 1 day at a time. Start with the 7-day plan, just evaluating where everything's at daily, and then implement a 30-day action plan to get it fixed. And then, of course, if you need help with that, we are extremely affordable and we are very flexible. And we've got some amazing testimonials from clients who have been in the industry for years and they have no clue what they're doing or how to do it. And we quickly, took them from no visibility to amazing visibility. And now they do have credibility in their market, and we are enabling them to be consistent because it's not one of their strengths. And that's okay. We're all good at something. So thank you for having me Debbie.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. And with what you just said, I'm going to ask Nikkei to unmute herself because, and will you stop sharing, Lisa?
You want me to pull up Nikkei's folder?
Well,
She
sure.
talks?
So Nikkei has been in the industry for longer than a minute. And she's great at selling real estate, but she didn't have all of these uh, tools and things behind her. And Nikkei just started working with Lisa a couple of weeks ago. And Lisa and the team created these beautiful logos and some of the downloadable guides and things like that. Nikkei, are you on?
I'm on. Yeah.
Excellent. So I just want you to just quickly, because we're
Yeah.
barely going to have time for one breakout room, quickly tell us like how your experience was and what you think of the results so far.
Well, one thing Lisa didn't mention is the personality test. So the whole process starts with a personality test, which I love personality tests in general, little secrets about yourself that maybe you don't know. So it starts with optimizing something very personally to you. And uh, I mean, the whole process, I felt seen, I felt valued. And that was really important because I'm relatively new to real estate, but I have a long professional career. And so she took all this information and very quickly and beautifully gave me choices. So you've got choices of what brand works. You are involved with each step of looking at it and helping refine it more to yourself. Very customized and quick, and there you go. I mean,
Well, and that was the thing, when we consulted with Nikkei on this, y'all, the reason that I have the Nike logo is because you should Google her name. Nike shoes come up everywhere. She has such a brandable name. So I was like, we're going to go all out with this one. Um, but we asked about what kind of elements and colors she wanted to include. And then we did go through that personality assessment and we designed her tagline and also her um, value proposition around that personality and the focus areas that she wanted to be known for in her local market. And then, of course, the toolkit, she hasn't even seen all that yet. She gets that email today. But we've built 24 different guides for her that she can use on appointments or use for lead generation. And that's just super exciting to be able to take, an agent that doesn't really have a brand, never really thought about the importance of having a brand. And then they wanted to expand on that and really just become that local expert and that realtor of choice, for their communities. So yeah, so that's how
Excellent.
that works. I'm gonna
Thank
stop.
you.
Thank you. All right. So Lisa, I'm just going to ask if you will look at Robert's comment in the chat and see if you can help resolve that for him. And I'm going to open breakout rooms because we only have 10 minutes left. So you're going to have 8 minutes in the breakout room. And what I want you guys to do in the breakout room is if you have a LinkedIn profile and you have a headline, I want you to share what that headline is in the breakout room. And if you don't, I would like you to share what you would like it to be and help each other refine it to something that you think is a little bit more relevant, a little bit more, punchy, whatever. So we're going into smaller breakout rooms, and I'm gonna, let's see here, open them. Why? Oh, I gotta move it. Here's the breakout rooms. We've got 8 minutes. I'll see you back here in 8 minutes. Hello, everybody. Go to your room. We turn the recording back on. You guys, we are gonna wrap this up. I just want to because I don't go into breakout rooms with you guys. I just want to
Mhm.
read to you what my LinkedIn profile says. It says, Dog Mom, empowering realtors who want more control of their income, time, and retirement because your future should be in your hands. Level up, ask me how. Lisa, how'd I do? How's that for a LinkedIn headline?
Could you repeat that? It broke up on
I
my
got
end.
you.
Okay, it says, Dog Mom, empowering realtors who want more control of their income, time, and retirement because your future should be in your hands. Level up, ask me how.
See, perfect. Short, sweet, to the point, and it's catchy. That's what people want. They want to be able to connect with you, and so they need an instant connection.
Excellent. See, and that's why I have Dog Mom in there, so people know that I'm a good person too because I love dogs.
That's right.
I have that on my Facebook and Instagram profiles too. I have Dog Mom Wife, your favorite Arizona realtor.
That's awesome. We have
Excellent.
another agent in our program, and she is a real estate mom, and so that's what she uses in all of her branding. Yep.
I love that. All right, you guys.
So,
Thank you, Lisa.
Debbie, before you go, Lisa, I want to just ask you, could you talk a little bit about what you do specifically for realtors? Because it doesn't just involve the branding, correct?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's totally just one point. Yeah, so real quick, because I know we're after 11 and you guys got busy days ahead. So if you think about personality matched business planning from start to finish, like from implementing it to executing it, that's what we do. So you take a personality profile, we evaluate, your profile, and there's 16 of them. So we look at, all right, you're one of 16. What does that mean in terms of connecting with consumers? So, what does your brand need to look like? Colors, fonts, styles, words. And then, what types of real estate buyers, sellers, and investors do you work best with? What should you work best with if you've never really done that before or had a focus? After we get that profile complete, then we create your logo, your marketing cover sheet, which you can tear sheet, like, print and take with you on any appointments, use as the last page of any of the guides that you distribute, either print or share online. Then the third phase is building your website and your content marketing online. So lead funnels, lead pages, downloadable guides that relate to your focus groups. The fourth step is in ad creation. So if you're on our full service program, you actually operate like a team member, with your own brand identity and your own brokerage, because we don't care where you work. We can do it for anybody, anywhere. And you would give us 10% at closing. And you basically have this operations person who's not only building plans and creating brands, but they are also giving you weekly action plans, 5 specific things that you should do based on your personality, your market area, and your focus type. And then we will do check ins with you and provide ongoing marketing support like the blogs, the social media, the video editing, the things that you probably aren't doing right now because you either don't have the time, the knowledge, the skill set, or just the interest in doing it. So you really get an operations assistant without having to hire a full-time assistant to do that work for you. And you don't pay for it up front. So if you don't close, we don't charge anything because we are a vested partner in your success.
Excellent. Okay, so because we are so far over, I'm just going to say that if you want to work with Lisa, the information is in the chat, and because this is so labor intensive, she can only take on so many new clients per month. And as of last night, I think she had 4 spots on September's wait list. I don't know if that's still where you're
Yep,
at or if any. Okay, so she's got 4 people that she can work with in the month of September. So if you want to get on the September wait list, do so. Otherwise, you'll be in the October wait list. So you guys, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for being here and for staying on till the end, because I know we're over. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing all of that amazing information with us. And we will see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. It's a long holiday weekend. Be safe. Above all, whatever you do this weekend, be safe.